Good morning, students. So today in pedagogy of biological and physical sciences, we are going to study about next subtopic, that is 8.7, handling hurdles in utilization of resources. So let us discuss what are these hurdles and how to handle these hurdles in the utilization of resources. So sometimes teachers felt frustrated as they had to face lot of problems. So these problems may be a personal problems or institutional problems, but the teacher have to find the solutions for this problem. So if they started writing the problems they faced and noting down them as hurdles, so then they can understand that all this was a matter of proper planning. Okay, so why the problems arise in the teaching learning process means we do not have a proper planning in our teaching learning process. So when you write your hurdles, that what are the problems you are facing in the teaching learning process, so based upon that hurdles you can pre-plan the teaching learning process in order to overcome those hurdles. So they can understood that all this was a matter of proper planning. So a positive mindset is necessary to bring about a change. So discussing with each other they plan how to handle those problems. So here you need a positive mind to bring changes in this hurdles or planning system, and discussing with each other with your colleagues or administrative department, and they plan how to handle those problems. So let us discuss here what are the hurdles we are facing in the teaching learning process and how to handle or overcome these problems. So course lags behind in the class. Okay, if in the class, if the course lags behind, okay, if the syllabus is not completing on time, this is a hurdle for teacher, and most of the teachers face this hurdle. And how to handle this hurdle? Teacher can plan activities well in advance, involve students. Every activity should be followed by recording observations, conclusions and discussions. In fact, the students get motivated and concepts are developed faster by carrying out the activities. So here see, in planning the teaching learning process, see, first we start with the year plan, okay, unit plan. In that we plan all the activities. So if you properly plan those activities, then you do not face this problem such as course lags behind in the class. Okay, so here the planning is very important. How you are planning the activities? Okay, so in the planning activities you have to motivate the students, and concepts are developed faster by carrying out the activities. So if you carry out the activities with the help of motivation of students, they learn very fast. Okay, so that what happen, you go according to your fixed time frame, so that you cannot lag behind in the syllabus. So here proper planning of the curriculum and teaching learning activities with proper motivation of the student is important to handle this problem. And the skilled student teacher ratio does not give opportunity to every student to utilize the resources in the class. Okay, so here what is the meaning of skilled student teacher ratio? Skilled student teacher ratio means here the ratio is not proper. Okay, the student teacher ratio, here the students are more in number, okay, where the teacher cannot handle those students. Okay, teacher may help the class to form small groups and can ensure contribution of each member of the group. Okay, teacher may help class to form small groups here and can ensure contribution of each member of the group. So here by forming the small groups he can overcome this hurdle. Next, indiscipline among the students while the teacher student is using the resources. Okay, so if the class is in indisciplined form, so how the teacher overcome this hurdle? So they need to be actively involved. Teacher can encourage them to ask questions and can give some students the tasks such as collecting and distributing equipment, materials and apparatus. Okay, so in order to maintain the indiscipline, you must ask frequent questions to the students in the class. Okay, so that their concentration cannot be diverted and they can focus on the teacher and teaching learning process, and can give some students the tasks such as collecting and distributing equipment to make them busy in the class, so that they cannot focus on other things. Okay, Next one, teacher can conduct activity and experiment single-handedly without a laboratory attendant or with an untrained laboratory attendant. Okay, so if the teacher conducting the activity and experiment single-handedly, so it is a burden for a teacher. It is also a hurdle of the classroom teaching learning process. So what the teacher do for this? Teacher can train the laboratory attendant and encourage him or her to gain expertise. So if the laboratory attendant is well versed in the activities of the laboratory, different practicals, experiments and methods, so the teacher's work is reduced. Here the teacher just can supervise how they are performing, and teacher can guide and facilitate the learners wherever it is necessary, because the half of the work is done by the laboratory attendant. He can able to prepare the solutions. Okay, he can make the apparatus be ready for the students before coming to the laboratory. So then it is easy for the teacher to explain conduct experiments and activities. And teacher can find a time constraint in utilizing the resources. Sometimes the time available one period for using a particular resource in school is not enough. Okay, so if the time constraints are not sufficient at that time, what the teacher used to do, teacher may ask for clubbed periods on one day of the week to perform activities, and may utilize the time of arrangement period that can get. Okay, so here the teacher should club the periods on one day of the week. Okay, so the teacher can take other periods on one day. Okay, for example, if the teacher is having 5 or 6 periods in a week, so he can take those periods on one day in order to complete that particular task, because mostly in the labs and experimentations we need to complete whole experiment at one particular time. So in order to make the consistency and continuity, here the teacher has to club his periods. Okay, then he can perform those activities in order to complete the experiment. And teacher do not know what apparatus and materials are available in the laboratories of our school. So a list of resources available in a particular department may be displayed at a prominent place, notice board, for their maximum utilization. So it will be listed in the notice board in the laboratory or in the department, so that they can by seeing that they can get an idea that what are the available resources. With the help of that, what experiments they can do. Teachers spend a lot of time searching for the resources in the laboratory or resource room. So here the teacher can give in advance a list of requirements to the laboratory in charge attendant beforehand. So prior day or before first period starts, so equipment and material can be collected when the class starts. So okay, so here if the teacher don't know whether how much laboratory apparatus are there, or if she or he needs a lot of time for resources only, so here he cannot handle both theory, practice and finding the resources. So here one in charge should be there. He facilitate all those things by prior preparing the or pre-plan all those things before one day before the class or lab starts. And teacher can have apprehensions about using hazardous resources like fire, flame, sodium metal, poisonous gases, electrical wires and harmful chemicals. So for that, what the teacher do here, teacher can inform, warn and train the students beforehand about the hazards of using such resources and the precautions to be taken. Like that he can overcome the problem like hurdles which may be created in future because to the students. So before warning to the students about these things, he can overcome those things. Next, teacher face problems in getting the supply of sheets, paper xeroxed. So what the teacher do, what will the teacher do here? Teacher can use online or ICT tools like blog and wiki class, tutor, group email, etc. to decrease the paper consumption. So here, because here for giving each and every student the syllabus, the notes, the worksheets, the okay, or other supplementary material, so it consume lot of paper. Okay, so because instead of that, teacher can send the soft copy at that to the students, so that everybody can get in the form of soft copy and they can learn and they can do their practice with the help of soft copy. So this is one of the way we can reduce the consuming of more paper. and mostly teachers are unable to find time or opportunity to do collective reference work with students in the library. So this is due to the preoccupation of librarian or students. Okay, so teacher is unable to do the reference work in the library because is already librarian, and to students will be there. Okay, so here when the students are not there, teacher can go and do his reference work. When the teacher is not there, the students can do reference work. So like that, there should be a timetable or fixed time will be there for the reference work. So here, since teacher may face many hurdles in utilization of various learning resources, the nature of hurdles and problems may vary from place to place. Okay, so these all problems are not faced by all the teachers. Okay, and all the problems are not faced in each and every place. Okay, so it's vary from place to place and even teacher to teacher. So only the concerned teacher can view the hurdles faced by her from all angles. Okay, so only the concerned teacher can know about these hurdles. Okay, he or she whatever the problems they are facing. And the subject to subject teacher also it is differ, like math teacher, science teacher, social teacher, like that. So because in science we have more experiments and activities, so we face more problems related to these laboratory resources and all. So what is needed is commitment to identify and utilize various learning resources for effective teaching learning of biological and physical science by solving the problem coming on the way. So here you should need a commitment to identify and utilize various learning resources for effective teaching learning. Okay, so first you need to identify what are the resources I need to transact my concepts effectively. So if you plan it accordingly, then you do not face these problems. And however, a meticulous planning means very careful and keen planning is required to find the ways of harnessing various community resources of learning in order to avoid hurdles on the way and superficiality of teaching learning activities. So here if you meticulously carefully plan that how to collect the resources from the community, okay, in order to plan the teaching learning sessions, okay, that also to some extent that solve your hurdles in the teaching learning process. And teacher can consider a number of approaches and strategies to transact the concepts using those resources of learning. So by using those resources, either materialistic or pedagogical resources, okay, he has to plan carefully and he has to use accordingly whenever it is necessary, so that he can transact the concepts using those resources of learning properly. Then it will be a good idea to make an inventory of local learning resources correlating to the concepts of biological science in the beginning of the session. Okay, so it will be a good idea to make an inventory. Okay, here you have to write one inventory list, okay, of local learning resources what are available in the immediate and local environment correlating to the concepts of biological science as well as physical science in the beginning of the session. So it is so if you plan like that, so this for this concept I will get the resources from local environment, for this concept I will get from the laboratory, for this I can take them field trip, for this I can call the eminent personality or a professor or any skillful expertise. So like that, if you plan before only by making an inventory of the resources, then it is very easy to transact the concepts if you plan this in the beginning of the session. And teachers can take help of their colleagues and students in this planning. Okay, teacher also can take the students and colleagues. And collaboration of time and expertise within school, between school and external specialists should be encouraged and promoted. So collaboration of time and expertise within the school means you have to call the eminent personalities, extension services between schools and external specialists should be encouraged and promoted, like a professor, a skillful person, okay, any scientist, okay, any doctor, okay, farmer, like that, anyone you can call according to the necessity and need and interest of the learners. An improvised apparatus and science kit can be of great help in improving conditions of experimental work in schools. Okay, so improvised apparatus also you can use, and science kits also you can use, which we have discussed in previous class. These all are the alternative sources in order to facilitate the learning, and many schools, particularly those in rural areas, are poorly equipped with science laboratories. So in that schools we are using as an alternative laboratory facility as science kit and improvised apparatus. But we are continuing our experiments and activities in order to teach the concepts to the learners, but we are not avoiding the practical experiences giving to the students. And the absence of such facilities drastically narrows down subject option for students, denying them equal opportunities for learning and future life challenges. So if they are not availing these facilities or learning opportunities in a practical aspects, so it is narrowing their option for students in order to they are getting back from the science streams. Okay, and they are, it is not providing equal opportunity them to learn the science subject along with the other subjects, because there is the lack of resources. And it is hence important that adequate facilities and resources are made available for all laboratories. Okay, so adequate facilities and resources, what are the requirements according to the level, like upper primary, secondary and secondary. Based upon that you can facilitate the required facilities in the laboratories. And while elementary schools can be benefit from a science corner, secondary and higher secondary school require well equipped laboratories. So science corner is sufficient only for the elementary school, but for high school and secondary and senior secondary school we need a particular laboratory. So this should be taken into consideration. Up to elementary you can maintain the science corner. Okay, you can perform your activities with the help of science corner, but at least in the secondary and higher secondary stage you have to establish a laboratory. Then teachers of biological and physical science should have proficiency in number of skills required for smooth functioning and managing of laboratory work. So okay, teachers of this science, they must have proficiency in number of skills required for smooth functioning and managing of laboratory work. They must aware of all the things. In previous class we have discussed like how to handling the experiments in physical science, physics, chemistry and biological science. Okay, so here if the teacher know very well, he can guide the students effectively. So they need to be resourceful enough to organize and provide first hand learning experience of science students. So when they will be a resourceful person, when they know how to do, how to perform, how to take care of those things, then they can become as a resourceful person and they can guide the students in order to provide a first hand experiences by doing the practice and by exploring themselves. So here the teacher must be resourceful person, okay, by knowing and by having the awareness of all the things of a laboratory, and they should be guided by their knowledge of the learning needs. Okay, students should be guided by their knowledge of the learning needs of their students. Teachers must be guided by their knowledge of the learning needs of the students and feel empowered to use a variety of resources of school and the community. Okay, so the teacher must have the knowledge of the students, what are their needs and interests, and they must have the knowledge of community and laboratory resources, and they have to use this effectively. And however, for effective utilization of community and school resources, including the laboratory in the teaching learning of science, it is essential that teacher enjoys a measure of autonomy and flexibility. This can foster the spirit of exploration and innovation. Okay, though these all the facilities are there in the school, like laboratory, they have good community resources. Okay, they have good immediate environment resources. They have good library, good classroom facilities. Okay, good school garden, school playground, everything. But the teacher must have the autonomy and flexibility. Until and unless there is no autonomy and flexibility to the students, he cannot handle this properly. Okay, so though you have all the resources, but if you are not provided with proper freedom, so you cannot do all those things. Okay, you cannot use your creativity and innovativeness in order to teach the students. So the teacher must be given freedom, autonomy and flexibility in using resources according to his needs and according to his students' needs. He can use those resources wherever it is required, so that here flexibility and autonomy, like freedom should be given. We have discussed about academic freedom of the teacher, okay, that only comes here. So if you give freedom to the teacher to choose his own options, his own resources, his own teaching learning strategies, he can facilitate very well. By using his own creative and innovative methods, he can teach the students. So here teachers autonomy, freedom should be given to the teacher in order to facilitate proper learning. Okay, so this is about the some hurdles and hazards. Okay, how to handle the hurdles in the utilization of resources. Okay, there are some hurdles are there. Okay, these hurdles are not for all the teacher. Okay, so these are the only for some specific subject teachers and some teachers, and these hurdles may vary from teacher to teacher and place to place, and the teacher must be skillful in order to utilize the resources. He must be creative and innovative, and he has the knowledge of all the resources and laboratory in order to facilitate proper learning. Okay, thank you.